What if I train an assistant and they don't work out? My biggest fear, hiring an assistant and they leave, they bounce. I invest so much time and energy into this person and they don't work out. A lot of you guys have this fear. And I've known this for a while, but I'll say it was solidified this past week when I actually did a live training, a live Q&A, as a monthly guest expert in front of the Thrivers Society community. And so I just want to read you guys for a second. I asked a question inside of this training and I said, what is your biggest fear around hiring on an assistant? Like, I'm curious. I want to know. What is your biggest fear around hiring on an assistant? And I want to read you a very small handful of the responses and the answers. Okay, so here we go. Someone said, I'm nervous. Someone said, worried I can't afford it yet. My fear is by the time I finish training them and put so much in, they will quit. Someone said, doing the work and them not working out. Someone said, if it will be worth it, question mark, question mark. Someone said, my biggest fear is them leaving. Someone said, they will cost me more than they produce. That's a good one. Scared they will leave so soon after introduction. Scared they don't stay long term. Putting so much into their education and them leaving to take their own clients after a year. Someone said, I don't feel like I have enough clients yet. And if I put all the effort in, they will leave. I keep training and investing time and they leave. Investing in them and they bounce. Not being able to afford it. Can I trust them? Wasted time, financial burden. How much am I expecting of them? Someone said, I want to pay for a third of their extension certification and my fear is they bounce. Oh, I got feedback for that one. Someone said, I work with 3 now, but they don't stay. Paying them for the foils and color and doll heads and never getting a return. Someone said, I trained my girls and they all left. And then the last one is, how do you protect your business during the training program so they aren't the place people learn and leave? Ooh, that hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like, wow, that was a lot of fears, you guys. A lot. And seeing that and like going through and rereading those, it's hard. And it's hard for me because I remember being in that place. I have overcome those fears. And I definitely have fears of my own now, not fears of working with an assistant because I've done it for so many years, but I remember being in your shoes and it's hard. And I can tell you, you got to get over the fear. You got to get over the fear, but how do you get over the fear? All right. So I want to ask you guys for a second. I'm going to blow some of your guys' minds in just a minute, but I want you to think for a second. We're going to do a mindset shift right now. And everything that you think and every one of those fears, I want you to ask yourself, spin it in the opposite direction. Okay? So hear me out for a second. What if it does work out? What if I pour into them and they do stay? Can you afford not to grow? Can you afford to stay in the same place that you are right now? 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Can you afford not to evolve? Can you afford not to hire and grow your team members? Can you afford for your stations to stay empty? Some of you guys I'm speaking to hard right now. Hard. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. And you're stuck in the same place right now because of all of that fear. And every single one of those responses and answers to that question is keeping you stuck. We all fail. All of us. And in order to get where you want to go, you're going to have to fail. You're going to have to be a beginner first. You're going to have fear. But what I want to ask of you is, can you have the courage? You're not going to have the confidence right away. That comes with time. All right? Can you have the courage to start? Can you have the courage to get out of your comfort zone? Can you have the courage to do something different? Courage comes before confidence. Courage comes before confidence. Courage comes before confidence. All right? Anyone who has ever made it has a past and a story. I know I do. I have a big story, and a lot of you guys have heard a little bit of my story. And if some of you guys haven't, I'll give you a little sneak peek into just a fast track of my history right now. I have hired assistants for quite some time. And I hired my first assistant when I was 23 years old, and I had just opened my first salon. All right. And I hired an assistant, not because like I wanted to, and I thought, oh, this is the right thing to do. And like in the back of my mind, I knew it was, but we actually hired a coach at the time. And he said, you're going to hire someone, you're going to hire an associate, and you're going to train them, and that's how you're going to fill your chairs. And I was like, who am I to be someone's boss? Like, it's comical looking back at baby Lacey that was 23 years old, thinking about me telling someone what to do, how to shampoo, how to foil, when like I was still learning myself. Like I was a baby stylist, but it's really all I know now. Like I don't know a life without working with assistants and growing team members. That's why we have this podcast. That's why we have LG Education. That's why we have the Assistant University, and I've created the Ultimate Assistant Guide and a digital training platform for you guys. And I'm speaking in front of so many of you guys about assistant training and leadership because I have walked the walk, and that's what puts me in this position right now. You got to walk the walk first, and I have a story to tell. And it's a really good story, and there's some good times and some bad times in there. I knew that I didn't want to be 40 and 50 years old, doing the same clients, making the same amount of money, working by myself, and trading time for money. I think something clicked probably maybe 7, 8, 9 years, sometime around that time, because I had just had Taylor. And that's when I said, time is so important. The currency of time and how you never get time back. And that's something that we don't know how much more time we have left on this earth. And not to go down too of a deep rabbit hole with you guys, but that's really one of the top things that I value is time. Time with my family, time with my stylist, time with my babies, my spouse, time for me to do what I want to do. Just time. And when you're behind the chair, you are trading time for money. And it's the truth. You do appointments, you book an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or an extension guest all day. You are trading time for money. And when you multiply yourself and when you start training people, there comes a point when you can only do so much with your 2 hands. It will only take you so far. And there's going to come a time where you have to use this. You guys can't see me right now, but I'm actually pointing to my head more than this. And now I'm waving my hands. You got to use your brain to make you more money than your hands, because your hands can only make you so much money. Some of you guys might have some light bulbs going off right now, and if I could use the emoji of like the brain exploding, I would. Work smarter, not harder. And when I say work smarter, not harder, I'm referring to you having a team that you're teaching and training, and they're bringing in revenue. And at the end of the day, you're providing them the tools and the resources, and they have a beautiful life inside of your salon, doing what they love doing, giving guests great guest experiences, living out their dream. And at the end of the day, so are you. It's a triple win. The guest wins, the artist wins, the salon wins. So when the salon wins, you win. Okay? So if you're at a point right now and you're thinking to yourself, man, you're speaking to me right now, Lacey. Have you even thought about working with an assistant or bringing someone on or multiplying yourself? When I say multiplying yourself, it's having more people inside your space, because your chair is sitting empty. If you don't have anyone on your team or no one in there, your chair is sitting empty when you're not in the salon. That's lost revenue. And when I say fill your stations and grow your team members, It's like, how many of you guys can afford to continue year after year to have tons of empty stations? It's like so many salon owners go to build out these beautiful salons, so beautiful, and the stations just sit empty. That's why I love a smaller salon, I will say. It's a little easier to fill those chairs. 4-chair salon, 6-chair salon. I have a lot of chairs in my salon and not one stylist per chair. You can have 3. I truly believe now with the hours that we work, and we value time so much more, and stylists aren't working the hours that we worked 10 and 20 years ago, you can have 3 artists to every chair and be perfectly fine. Let me say that again, 3 stylists to every single chair. And if you're doing 1 artist to 1 chair, you're losing money. You should have more artists than chairs, hands down. So let's talk about if they leave and the fear of that, okay? What if they leave? I say, let them. Stop taking it so personal. Stop thinking and telling yourself these stories that didn't work out. I'm not a great leader. They shot your confidence, and trust me, it can happen, but you gave up so fast and you said, it isn't for me. I'm going to work solo. And some of you guys aren't meant to have assistants. And I'll just say, you're probably not tuning into this podcast if that's you. The ones of you that are listening want to work with assistants and want to grow your teams. Stop taking it personal. This is business. At the end of the day, if someone leaves your space, let them and get back to hiring. It's hard, but I can tell you the longer that you're in this and the more that you do it and the more that you hire and the more that people leave, it doesn't affect you as much. It sure did to me a lot. And it still does to an extent, but not as much as it used to. The ones that want to stay with you will stay with you, plain and simple. The ones that see your mission, that abide by, I'll say take value in and believe in your core values and your mission will stay with you. You will have artists stay with you, but you're going to have a lot more leave. It's just the way it is. And for anyone to tell you that that's not true, that you shouldn't have turnover and you're not a good owner if people leave, I call bullshit on that. That is bullshit. Every single entrepreneur that hires employees or renters, doesn't matter, you're going to have people come and go. It's the name of the game. It's what happens. You got to get back to hiring. You have to have tunnel vision, stay tunnel focused on what your goals are and what you want to do. And if they leave, let them. Let me, pointing to myself right now, control what I can control. I can't control if they come and stay and leave and go and whatever, but I can control how it affects me. I can control my energy. I can control my actions and what I say and what I do. All right? Let your dreams be bigger than your fears. Nothing changes if nothing changes, and you got to spend money to make money. And a lot of those fears too came back to investment. Can I afford it? Can you afford not to? You want to double what you're making right now? Triple, quadruple what your salon's bringing in? You're bringing in $20,000 a month as the whole salon. You start hiring people, let's make that 40, let's make that 60, let's make that $100,000 a month. That's people. You're only one person. You need more people. You need more people. You need more people. Get over the fear. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. Ooh, preaching right now, you guys. So good. So good. So I'll end it on this. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears, your actions louder than your words, and your faith stronger than your feelings. And we got a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings. You guys have a lot of feelings. We are very emotional beings. Creatives, artists, and salon owners are just not touchy-feely people, but just you have a lot of emotions. And it's so easy to get butthurt when someone leaves and spin all these crazy stories in your mind. I was talking to my therapist the other day. Sounds kind of cool saying that. That's kind of new to me. And he was talking about letting thoughts come and go. And when we spin things out of control, when it's a thought that consumes us, and let's say someone leaving your company, and it's all you think about, and you spiral and you start literally making up stories in your brain about how you're not a good leader, what you did wrong, they're crazy, they're horrible, and you spin it to where you then start sabotaging yourself and your confidence, and then spinning it on them that they're a horrible person. Both of these are horrible things to do. I'll just say that's not a win-win situation. So let those thoughts come and go. Those thoughts are no longer serving you. When you start to think something like that, you change what you're thinking about. And sometimes it's hard, and that thought will come back within like less than 20 seconds, and you're thinking about it again. And you're like, keep busy. I'm just going to say, this is what helps me. Go do the dishes, go start the laundry, start another project, go out and play with the kids, go do something else to get your mind off of it, and tell yourself, this thought no longer serves me. It's not serving you. So stop telling yourself these crazy stories. You got to push past that. You have to do the hard shit. And this is part of it. Hiring people is hard. It's so hard. I had a hard year last year inside Salon Lace. I did, with people. But I'm sitting here in front of you guys today, and I have tunnel focus, and we're hiring like crazy this year. I didn't let that affect me, and I'm not going to. That was their decision to leave. And if someone leaves, it's part of the game. You will get bigger, you will get better, and you will get stronger. I can promise you that. But you have to be a beginner first, and you have to start with courage. Confidence will follow. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. I would love it if you would share our podcast. Is there someone that you know that is a salon owner or an artist that would be a great leader, great mentor? Would you share our podcast with them? I think you can click, there's like 3 dots or 3 lines, and you can just hit copy link. Go share this episode if someone needs to hear this. All right. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, guys.